Firestarter's out, and I watched it. Why? Because I saw the trailer, and when she said, "Liar, liar, pants on fire," it made me laugh. So I watched it, and it wasn't very good. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time here. First problem with the movie, it's too short. You see, listen, all right? This movie's plot is this little girl, she has powers, she can start fires with her mind, and her dad is trying to keep her safe from this government that wants to use her and weaponize her and experiment on her. And I know what you're thinking, you're like, that's a pretty cool setup, that could be really cool. But I feel like that's a good setup for a longer story. Like, for example, The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a video game that takes about 12 hours to complete, and in those 12 hours, you really get to know Joel and Ellie, who are on a similar sort of journey. You get to know them, and when you get to the end of the story, you're so attached to them that you're worried what's going to happen to them, you know, and you grow to love them. Here, these characters have no personality whatsoever. Charlie and Andy, like Andy, his entire character is just, we need to get you out of here. We need to keep you safe. Your powers are dangerous. They're bad. We need to get out of here. I'm sorry. Like, he's just sulking the entire movie. He has no personality. He's just like this the whole movie. Like, we need to get you out of here. Like, he's just whiny, you know? And I this whole movie, I felt really bad for Zac Efron because he's trying, man. He's a good actor, but he's, like, it's just a poorly written character. He has no charisma. He's just... I don't blame Zac Efron for this at all. It's just the character is so uninteresting. He's just like, he's just there to say, yeah, we got to get you out of here. And Charlie's character, same thing. You know, a lot of her dialogue is some cliche dialogue you hear from characters like this. Like, when I lose control, people get hurt, or, you know, stuff like, I'm a monster, and it's just the lamest, most cliche stuff. You know, that's the best way to describe this movie. It's just pretty lame. It's a pretty surface level script. There's really not much to it, unfortunately. You know, and the villains of this movie are so boring. Whenever there was a scene that was just about them, I was falling asleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was boring. But, you know, this girl and her dad, like, there's no real dynamic between them. You never get the sense that they're a father and daughter. You get the sense that it's just some random girl he found and he just feels obligated to keep her safe. Like, there's never any scene where you see them, like, there's one scene where they're bonding, they go out for ice cream, and it's off screen. You don't even see it. Like, you never see these two, like, get along with each other. You never see them, like, show that they care about each other. You just see them, like, well, they're a father and daughter, and that's why you should care. You know, it's just pretty lame, you know? Like, that's the best way to describe this movie. It's just lame. And there's this villain character who's hunting them down the entire movie, and what they do with him at the end is so stupid and makes no sense, and it's just like, why? Like, it's so dumb. And the movie's shot pretty poorly, the action's pretty lame. There's a scene where they go to this ranch and this character says, yeah, he overreacts to something, and he literally says, sorry, I tend to overreact a bit. And I'm like, oh, golly gee, that's something people say in real life. Oh, golly gee, I wonder if this will come back later. You know, it's a very surface level movie. It's a movie filled with stuff you've seen in 1,000 other movies, you know. And if you know, I really don't have much to say about this movie. It's just not very good. I'm just gonna get into very minor spoilers here. Well, not minor, it's actually the ending of the movie. So if you don't want to hear about the end of the movie, you should probably leave now. But, so at the end of the movie, Charlie goes to the facility where they have her dad, and her dad hypnotizes her to blow the whole thing up, and she kills Charlie kills everybody. By the way, another thing is that the whole movie, Charlie has no control of her powers, but I guess in like the span, like literally like a 30-second scene shows her trying to learn them. And then after that, she can just do it perfectly. She has no issues whatsoever. She just has complete control of her powers now. Whatever. But anyways, he hypnotizes her to destroy the entire facility and kill everyone in it, and she does. And then she gets beaten by these guys in suits, and they're about to capture her. But then the guy that was chasing them throughout the entire movie kills them, and then he's like, you know what, I deserve it, just kill me. And she lets him go. Why? Because I guess she doesn't want to. I guess she saw something in him. I don't know. Like, the whole movie, there's no relationship between them other than he's hunting them down. That's it. And why did she let them go? Why did she kill everyone else? Why does everyone else deserve to die, but he doesn't? I mean, this guy shot your father. You know what I mean? And then at the end, I was like, you know what? This could be an actually kind of neat ending if it just it would really sell the tragedy of the story and the character if the last scene of the movie is just her walking off into the distance. You don't know where she's going, but all you know is that she's completely alone. And that would be sad, but that would be an earned ending for this character. Her whole life is tragic because of something out of her control. She didn't ask for these powers. That'd be a good ending. But no, she goes on the beach, she sits down, and the guy that was hunting her the entire movie looks at her, picks her up, and they walk off together in the end. Why? Why? This guy was, like, there's no like, there was literally nothing setting this up except for at the end where for some reason she just decided not to kill him and to let him go. And now they're gonna go palling around. Like, this guy killed your mom. He killed your mom, and now you're just gonna be palling around with this asshole? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You know, it's just so dumb, you know? And yeah, there's also these bullies. This is a minor thing, but there's these bullies. There's a funny scene where these bullies, this kid throws a dodgeball at her head, and then he's like, yeah, and then she's so embarrassed she runs off, and he's like, yeah, run away, you freak. And then there's like 3 teachers in that room, like right there, and they don't do nothing to the bully. Like, the bully doesn't, like, not a single teacher like says, like, stop. They don't say anything. They're just like standing there while this kid's like, yeah, run away, you freak loser. Like, what? And then it's just stupid. And then, you know, and then I just think it's so dumb. I'm sorry. I can't get over how bad the ending is of this movie. Like, why are you going to be palling around with this guy that killed your mom? You know, and like I said, it would have been so much better if it just ended with her walking off into the distance. It would have been a really good ending. That's not what they went with. I don't know how it ends in the book, but if it ends that way in the book, I think it's stupid there too. Yeah, this movie, it's way too short, you know? Like, a story like this, it's like, yeah, he's trying to protect her from this facility and they're running off. Like, this could be a really great adventure if it was a longer movie, or maybe like a mini series on Netflix or something. Like if this was like an HBO show or something, like, this could be really neat. You would get to see the father and daughter bond, and you'd get to see them, you know, like, really grow to, like, well, you know, you would just see their dynamic, and you'd get to know them a lot better. Like, there's a scene at the beginning where she's like, she accidentally hurts her mom, but then she's like, it was supposed to be you, Dad. And they don't really delve into that at all after that, ever. Like, there's no real tension between her and her dad. Like, it's so poorly written. It's just bad. It's just really bad. Yeah, overall, I don't like this movie. I don't hate it. It's 13%. It's kind of low. I don't think it's the worst movie I've seen all year or anything, but I really can't recommend it. It's not very good. If you want to see a good story like this, read the original or play Last of Us or watch the movie Logan. Those are better versions of this story. Yeah, that's about it. Firestarter, it was not very good. And I think the ending of the movie is setting up for some kind of sequel or something, where it's about her and the guy that hunting her down. Now they're on a new adventure or something. I gotta tell you, if they're setting up a sequel with this, I am not excited for that.